Hi. Part of the reason that it is so difficult for victims of narcissistic abuse to leave the narcissist is because of the inner conflict that is caused with how they behaved in the beginning and how they're behaving or behaved in the devaluation phase. Your mind can't grasp it. We can't grasp it. So we hold on to the thought that, well, the good, that had to be real. That some of it, I mean, you don't know what he did. He put the toothpaste on my toothbrush. He put my wine glass in the freezer. All those little things that he does for you, that he's probably doing for somebody else right now, you sell to yourself as, but this had to be, it doesn't make any sense. Think of it this way. Think of a couple that you know are happy. And again, we don't know what happens behind closed doors, but I think we all can think of a couple that we know is genuinely happy, whether it's your grandparents, your aunt and uncle, friends of yours. Picture the narcissist's behavior with one of those people. It's nearly impossible to get through with a straight face because you say to yourself, oh my God, that would never happen. So-and-so would never do that to so-and-so. If the behavior suddenly becomes so ridiculous to you that it's like theater, the theater of the absurd, there's your answer. It cannot possibly be normal behavior when you know in your brain that it is cruel. The reason that we stay in a state of conflict and that we feel off-center about it is called cognitive dissonance, okay? Our thoughts don't line up with what we know happened. There's a dissonance. There's a separation. They acted this way, but they acted this way. That's a tool they use. That's a part of their cycle. The whole thing was manipulation. I think a lot of times victims start to think of the bad. We'll use this for the bad. This is the good guy or girl. And you start to think of, well, they started manipulating me and they started triangulating me and they started gaslighting me and it was after I did this and it was that big fight and maybe I shouldn't have done that. No. Rework your brain to realize that this good unicorn and rainbows phase, that was manipulation too. Oh my God. Oh my God. It was the beginning of the manipulation to set you up for this. Why? Well, these people are built that way. They get a power charge out of it. So it was a manufactured stage of goodness. They faked the whole thing in order to lure you in. Had you been hip to it, you might have caught them and said, no, I'm good, thank you. You're coming on a little strong. I was really just into a casual relationship. They would have scurried away maybe. Or maybe you would have presented a challenge for them and they would have come on thicker. But this bad stage always will happen. The inner conflict that we have is always based on the good. We keep thinking of the good. And we keep hoping that the good was real. And we keep searching our brain for like, what happened? What did I do? How could I have... You know, if any of it was ever based on true feelings, it would never have gone to abuse. It would never have gone to abuse. And I'm not saying that relationships don't happen where there's a honeymoon phase and then that dissipates and then you get down to reality and you have conflict. That's a normal cycle of a healthy relationship. That's not what we're talking about here. When we're talking about the devaluation phase that encompasses gaslighting and triangulation and lying and all of the things that they do, the conflict needs to be resolved once your mind turns a corner and realizes that all of the good was just as much manipulation as the bad. Once your mind clicks over, it becomes a lot easier and your dissonance will close and you'll realize all of it was manipulation. And that the good and the bad aren't really that different of actions if it was all manipulation. Just because they were being wonderful to you doesn't mean they weren't manipulating you. So I caution you against, if you're trying to leave your narcissist and you're having internal conflict feelings like that, it's on purpose, and they are keeping you there by giving you a taste of the good every now and again. That's not how things should work. And if you have a conflict that's making you feel off center, you need to examine that and realize there's something more here than just the honeymoon phase being over and us dealing with roadblocks and stumbling blocks of a normal, healthy relationship. It's probably that you are deep in the devaluation phase, and we can't see clearly when we're being devalued. We think we would, but think of a couple that you know that's happy. It helped me think about it, and it became very clear. I was like, so-and-so would never do this to so-and-so in 1 billion years. And they're big things, big ugly things that they do to us, the narcissists. They're real masters at the negative manipulation. Well, they think that they are. Some of them can be pretty dumb moves that they make, and they think they'll get away with it. Don't question yourself. You did nothing to deserve it. You did experience the beginning unicorn phase. It was real because it happened, but it was also manipulation. So think of another couple that you know and put their behavior on them. It becomes the theater of the absurd, and you will not believe how clear it becomes to you. Okay, good luck.